we have Cory Jacob.
Cory, do you want house lights on or off? Doesn't matter.
Can turn them off, I guess.
Cool, yeah.
Why not? Oh, that's so much better. Ha ha ha. So I was sitting in my empty apartment last week on the floor, all by myself with nothing in it, just sitting and staring at nothing like I always do. And all of a sudden, something got my attention. I was just sitting cross-legged Indian style by myself, doing nothing like I always do. And all of a sudden, something got my attention. And I realized that it was outside the apartment. My neighbor was cooking barbecue, like chicken, and the smell had floated all the way from like 40 feet down and like 20 feet below, all the way up, all the way through all that space, and it came right here. And I didn't know at first what happened, and then I realized that that smell, it came in here into my body, into the center of my body. So this guy, he was downstairs cooking, unbeknownst to him, he was entering my body with what he was doing. And then I never realized that I had these holes before. So I was sitting there by myself, bored with nothing to do like I always am. So I started investigating my body, just looking around it and searching it, playing with it, trying to find something to do with it and see if there was something going on with it that I didn't know. Well, it turns out, and then I looked at the window, and I was waving at my neighbor, and he goes, "Hey, man!" And I was like, "Whoa!" And then I realized that 40 feet away, 20 feet below, he had said something in his mouth, and it came all the way down from down there, all the way up, and it entered a hole in my body. He was in my body. He was in 4 of my holes now. I have a hole here. Come to find out, it's a nose hole, a nostril. Hole here, same thing. 2 of them, same thing. Hole over here, which I had found when I was touching myself, investigating. Another hole over here, same thing as this one. Same thing happens, because I noticed, and then, because my other neighbor was over there and he saw me staring out the window, doing nothing like I always do, when I'm not sitting on my floor, doing nothing, staring at nothing. And he said, "Hey!" And then it came into this hole. Now I had 2 of my neighbors inside of me from a very far place away. Right now, I'm inside of all of you. Whereas, I don't know, 14 people here, I'm inside of a lot of your holes right now. This hole, some would say, might be the most important. After your other hole, this one is. And guess what? I've entered that hole. I've entered your hole. Someone here brought Wendy's, and we all smell it. And we've all ingested some of that particles from the Wendy's because it's floating around in this space, coming into our holes. 5 holes right now. We all have 5 Wendy's in 5 of our holes. Can you believe that? It goes in this hole. We can hear it. Once we see it, we know it's there and we hear it. It's coming in these holes, no doubt about it. And then when we open our mouth, we're taking in these particles from the Wendy's into our holes inside our body. Isn't that crazy? That like we're all people and the most important part of us is holes. That's it. You would think it would be something solid, but it's not. It's a hole. Holes that go to the center of your body. You can all see most of my holes. I have 5 up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. During my investigation, I realized I have 2 more holes. I have a hole. I have a penis, come to find out. It's got a hole. It's a straight line hole. I don't know if you've seen one. It's just a vertical line. And it's a tiny hole. So I was pulling it open and trying to see what it was for. And I don't think anything was going in that hole. And there was nothing going in that hole, which confused me greatly because all of my other holes, things are going in. And then I got to screwing around by myself, sitting on the floor, doing nothing like I always do. And I realized I have another hole back here. So I investigated it. And nothing happened. And I realized that nothing was going in there. And then I thought about it, and I was like, stuff comes out of there. So that's what that hole's for. And I tried to put stuff in this hole, and it didn't feel good, it didn't feel right. That hole is not for people to come inside. That hole is only for exiting. This hole is also for exiting. I put a few toys and things up there. It didn't feel the best to me. Realized that hole also is mainly for exiting. All these holes lead to the center of my body. It's crazy. Because when stuff is happening around me and distracts me, it hits me and goes inside me. And then every time I look around at somebody when I'm walking around, I'm like, oh my God, that guy's in my holes right now. Either I'm hearing him or I'm smelling him, or I'm opening my mouth and taking in his essence. Just remember, people, you got to take care of these holes. Keep them clean. You don't want your holes getting fucked up or dirty. Then the holes don't work as good. So lately, at my house, when I'm just sitting around alone, sitting Indian style, doing nothing, I clean my holes. So that when I leave the house, I'm getting 100% stimulation from my holes. Well, 5 of my holes. The 2 that I can't see, that you can't see right now, they're my business. Unless I make them your business. So just remember that you're inside of a lot of people all the time. People are inside of you. I hope you like me being inside of you. Thank you.
All right, that was awesome.
Oh shit.
Thanks, Cory.